size 13 in granite. I purchased a Foam Runner MX Cinder a few months ago in 12, and they didn't fit very well. They were a little snug, so I figured I'd try my luck again and go up to a 13 in the granite because it has more of a rounded toe. Versus the Cinder, you can see, has a lot more of a pointed toe. So it wasn't wide enough for my foot. My pinky toe was like pushing up against this part where it starts to curve in. So I thought if I went up a size and try with the granite, it would fit a little bit better. So we shall see. I do really like the color scheme on this though, on the Cinder with the blue and the brown and the black. It's pretty nice. So this isn't as exciting. It's a little dull, but as long as it fits better, that is what I care about. Because I think these already look kind of funky, so it doesn't matter after that. Like what the color is, it's gonna look funky regardless. You know? All right, let's throw them on foot, see how they fit. Yeah, these are better. I got more room in them. My toe's not smashing up against the side of them. They're actually a little more comfy. I feel like I have more of an arch support in these than the Cinders. These are sweet. One thing I'm not huge about these shoes is how high up this back comes. I've got my ankle bone right there kind of pops out, and this is like right up against it. It's not bad when I wear socks. It was like that with the other ones too, with the Cinders, but barefoot, it's pretty noticeable. But these are nice. These are comfy. I'm happy. Yeah. Right, another nice autumn day. We're walking with Stella, checking out the Yeezy Foam Runners in granite colorway. The heel does slide a little bit in these, but there's more toe room, so I guess it's a trade-off. That's the price to pay with the Foam Runners when you wear half size. I wish they had half sizes, but oh well. We deal with what we are given. Huh, Stella? All right, we'll get some action footage here of the Foam Runners walking and Stella being mischievous. got yourself all tangled again, Stella. Come on, Tuffy. Come on, Tough Girl. Why are you tying me up? Tying me up, Stella. You over it? You over it? You over in this? One thing I'm noticing already walking in these, and I haven't walked very far, maybe half mile, is they're rubbing on my ankle bone on the one side, right here. Right here, this part here is rubbing on my that little bone that pops out, a little ankle bone, you can see it right there. That edge is rubbing on the right side. It isn't doing it on the left side. The left side's fine, but on the right side, that's been rubbing to the point where I'm almost limping from it. I'm just trying not to let it rub, you know? So I'm adjusting my gait, but so these probably aren't the best walking shoes, at least for me, the way my bone structure is. But the footbed of these are really comfortable, and that's why I bought a second pair. Even though the first one, I mean, it didn't fit horribly, but I wanted a pair that fit a little bit better. And I just wear the other ones inside. I haven't really walked in those at all. Come on, Stella. So that's just one thing I've noticed about these for my feet in particular, that they're not the best walking shoes. But I'll still wear them around the house and stuff, just lounging around. They're still extremely comfortable. And it's mid-50s today, and my feet are still warm in these. Even though they've got all these vents in them and stuff, they're comfortable, like temperature-wise. My feet aren't getting cold at all. And that's one thing I noticed wearing them inside too, is my feet might get a little warm at times. So these aren't terrible in cooler temps. I haven't worn them in the summer yet, but I mean, it's fall now, so I won't know how they do in hot weather until next summer. But I got these on StockX for $65 was the sale price, and then plus processing and tax and everything, I think they were about $90, which isn't too high over The retail, I think the retail on these were like 75 or something like that, or 69 or something. So it's relative to retail, which isn't bad for Yeezy product. They're all really low right now. I guess there's going to be a new drop. Again, the final drop from Adidas on the Yeezy products is supposedly on October 29th. So I'll check out their website and see if there's anything I can snag. I've got the 350 Boost compacts coming. I ended up winning the bid on those. Surprisingly, I got them for 110, which the previous sale was like 160. So I'm guessing someone had to pay rent and they ended up taking my bid. It was a lowball bid. I was surprised that I got it. But anyways, back to the foam runners. I'll keep wearing them and walking in them and see if they loosen up a little bit around the ankle. I mean, these are brand new. This is really the first time I've really worn them. So they might get a little better. If not, then I'll just leave them for like indoor use and casual wear and not try to really wear them out too often. So, but I really like these though, just comfort wise. The footbed on them is really comfortable, the sole. It's got nice arch support. There's a little divot at the front of them for the toes. Just all in all, they're pretty comfortable aside from the high sides and my bone structure. But you never know until you try them. I had that issue as a kid getting shoes. I remember having to return a couple pairs that I had bought or that my parents had bought for me. School shoes that I initially liked, but after wearing them for like a day or two, it was rubbing on that bone. And it was probably on the same side, on the right foot. I don't think it's as pronounced on the other side, but I ended up having to return them and get a different pair. So I typically get low cut shoes where these are higher cut on the sides, and therein lies the issue. But yeah, they're pretty good aside from things mentioned. Real quick, you can see where it's rubbing on my foot. It's taking skin off from that last walk. So that would definitely be an issue long term wearing these out and about, which is unfortunate. I really like the foam runners. So we'll see if these are any better. I can already tell though it's still rubbing, but we'll see. So I got the cinders on now. I'm gonna go run an errand or two and I'm gonna walk a little bit and see if I get the same issue with the ankle bone on these, because they are a size smaller, they're size 12. So my feet are they're at the end. It's not uncomfortable. If this compresses and it widens out a little bit, it gives my toes a little more room, but the way it kind of tightens towards the front, that's where I get the pressure on the side here. So you can see it's cut right up against that ankle bone again on these. But I'll go run a few errands in them and do some walking in them, because I haven't worn these outside of the apartment either. So we'll see if I get the same issue with these as I do the larger size 13. So since these are foam, I can modify them pretty easily, which I will probably end up doing because I really like the comfort on these. I wish I could wear them without that rubbing. So I bet if I take a file or something and just remove a little bit of material there, that I won't have the issue that I'm having with them. So we'll go do an experimental walk with these and see how it goes. And then I'll wrap it up with my thoughts on the foam runners. We got the cinders out, and we got Buddy. We're gonna go for a walk and see if I have the same issues with the cinders as I do the granite. Just when I was walking in them earlier, they didn't feel like it was as dramatic of a rub on my ankle bone. So if it's not too bad, I'm not gonna modify these at all. I'll just modify the granites. So we'll go for a walk and see how they do. Alright, we got Buddy, we got the cinders on. Going for a little walk. I think we're going to do a woods walk today. Hopefully the lighting's not too dark in there yet, as the sun is dipping. But we should have enough natural light left. Buddy is on the prowl. We have to smell everything because we're a dog. So far, these are not rubbing as bad as the granites, though it is still right there. It is still kind of rubbing, but it's not as bad. Buddy, please. Please, please, no, please, please, Buddy. Don't back out of your harness. Come on. You're making for a bad footage. Come on. Come on. You don't need to smell everything. Woods walk, buddy. Okay, this way, buddy. So definitely not the same issue with the Cinder as I have with the Granite. I can feel pressure on that same spot, but it's not rubbing like the other one. It's not that big of an issue. So I probably won't modify these. So I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I'm not gonna modify these foam runners in this video. It's already got 2-in-1, so I'll just save that for another video. I'll do a short video on the modification of the Granite. I'm not gonna modify the Cinder. Cinder's fine. After walking it earlier, this is low enough that there's pressure there, but it's not rubbing like the Granite was, where it was removing skin. So I will for sure modify the Granite. I got a file set with a round file on it, so I'll just try to take some material off right here. If that doesn't work, I picked up a little utility knife that I'll just try to shave it with the knife instead. So we'll see what works best. So I will do a video on that modification if anybody's interested in that. Look for that video in the near future. So with the sizing, the reason I went up to the 13 with the Granite is the YouTube channel Bread and Butter, who does shoe videos. He's got tons of Yeezys, and he had gotten true to size with the Granite, and he complained about it. But he got true to size with the Cinder, and he said it was fine. So I wear an 11.5. Everybody says to size up with the Foam Runners, but based on Bread and Butter's review and comments, I went up just to a 12 with the Cinder. You can see, the lighting is not the best right there, US 12. It's hard to see because there's a little blue right on it. US 12. And then the Granite, I went up to US 13. You can see right there. That one showed up a little bit better. And I think the Cinder might have been too big if I went up to a 13. So after walking in it today, spending some more time in it, I didn't notice the my toes getting sore or anything pushing on the front here. But you can see how, oops, get it right here. You can see how the toe box is more rounded on the Granite versus it comes to more of a point with the Cinder. So depending on your foot shape, I mean, and you're just getting one, you might want to go with one or the other based on your foot shape. If you need a little wider of a toe box, the Granite definitely is wider. And I purchased a smaller size for a family member, and that's what sold me on getting a pair of the Granite for myself, because even on that smaller size, I ended up getting like a 6 or a 7. I noticed that the toe box was a lot more rounded on the Granite. So that's why I went and got a pair for myself, just because of that narrowed toe box on the Cinder. So whatever issues I'm having with this, it just needs to be broken in a little bit more. Whereas this I will modify. Like I said, I'll do a separate video on the modification process that I do in case anybody else is interested. But the footbed on these are extremely comfortable. I really like the EVA that they use, the foam in these, compared to other foam injected, mold injected shoes. I think the Foam Runner is pretty solid. I paid a little more for the Cinder. I think I got it for like 90 or something, and it was like 115 after tax and processing and stuff. And the Granite I got for 65. I got a good price on it. It was going for 70 and I bid low, and someone eventually snagged it. So after processing and tax, I think it was like 90 or something like that. So, and this one's really comfortable too. I like having the extra space in the toe box. Set aside the higher ankle area there. So that's one thing to keep in mind too. You can almost see how it's a little higher. It dips down a little more in the Cinder. That with the size difference, not only are you getting a longer and a wider Foam Runner, but the ankle is also higher. So keep that in mind. So I think that's all I have to say about the Foam Runner. Like and subscribe. Thank you.